an on-target week. Rob Charles shows us his van and explains how he gets his work. And we also have a chat about working outside of the apps. Hi everybody, it's Dave here, Anvil Logistics, and today is Monday, 20th of October. And we're going to do a little bit different this week. But first of all, before we start the video, I'm going to do a couple of shout outs. First shout out is to the chap who collared me at Hyde Market on Saturday. He runs one of those little roundabouts that the kids sit on. And you know, with the horses on little cars and things. And he said, "Oh, Anvil Logistics." So when I wandered over to him, it turns out that he watches the channel. And he said that he's not in the courier game, but he watches the channel because he likes it, but he doesn't know why he likes it. But all the same, thank you. And it was nice to meet you. And secondly, the second shout out goes to Mick from 90 Day Couriers, who we crossed paths on Friday in Wiltshire. Really nice fella. He's got a great little business going for himself there. Very down to earth. He wouldn't let me do a show as your van. He had a nice van as well. Pretty new Citroen van. Wouldn't let me do a show as your van. He was a bit camera shy about that. But Mick, it was great to meet you. So that's Mick from 90 Day Couriers, also I think known as Second City Couriers. And don't forget, Mick, you promised me as much ADR work as I can do. So I'm looking forward to that coming into my inbox anytime soon. Anyway, so today, Monday, bit restricted because of all the nightmares about the kitchen. I couldn't take anything for today because I had to wait for a plaster to arrive at the house, which I did. I've left him plastering, and I thought I'll just have a look at CX so we could pick up a little bit of work. And I did. I managed to pick up an ADR load from a shipper who's given me quite a lot of work in the past. It's a local job, pretty well paid for what it was. I've completed it. It's dinner time, and now I've got to run off and pick up some other stuff for the house. So we're gonna just basically knock it today. Can't do much. But what I'm gonna do is this week, I'm not gonna do a daily diary. I'll do a rundown on Friday of how the week went. Because what I'm gonna concentrate on is, because I got a show as your van through, and he also did an accompanying video with it, I thought that's a good idea. We're gonna talk about the Courier Exchange and the other apps, and what it is nowadays, how it's changed, how you can't rely on the Courier Exchange for all of your work. It's a handy tool, there's no doubt about that. Yes, I've had complaints about it in the past, but in terms of getting all your work from it, not recommended. About how you get customers and how you should approach this job, because it's changed now, hasn't it? So I'm going to show you this shows your van from Rob Charles, and then that will be immediately followed by a little video from him explaining how he works and he doesn't use the Courier Exchange. And then we'll have a little bit of a chat about that, and then we'll just round off the week at the end, and I'll let you know how I did.
Hi there guys, my name's Rob and I'm an independent courier based in Swindon in Wiltshire. I've been a courier for nearly 7 years now. And I cover most of southern England from approximately Stafford southwards. Unlike many of you that are watching though, I don't do same day work and I'm not on the CX. I would say about 98% of my work comes from regular returning clients, and most of these are people that sell furniture, normally small items like chest of drawers, bookcases, coffee tables, that sort of thing. I also work for a few antiques dealers and a furniture maker, and probably about half a dozen private clients too. I'm always pretty busy. I'm booked up normally for a week to 2 weeks ahead, and so there's probably something like 20 to 40 jobs outstanding at any one time, and then I finalise my route approximately 48 hours ahead of time, so I know where I'm going and approximately what time I'm going to be there. One of the advantages of working like this, I find, is that I always get paid promptly. Most payments come either on the day or within a few days, and one of my customers actually pays me ahead of time. So even if I'm not doing a job for a week or two, he'll pay me as soon as he books. So I never have any problems with trying to chase payment from anyone. My original van was a 2011 Vauxhall Vivaro, and it was fantastic. I bought it with just over 100,000 miles on the clock and sold it about a month ago with 511,000 on the clock. Still running with the original turbo and the original injectors, although it did have a recon gearbox a few years ago. So to replace it, I wanted a van similar size, similar engine, similar fuel economy. Obviously the new Vauxhall Vivaro is smaller and didn't really suit my requirements. So I did some research and I'm now going to show you what I bought. Okay then, so this is my van. It's a 2021 Fiat Talento. I've had it about 2 months now. It's in the Sportivo trim, so it's an L2 length. And comes finished with metallic black paintwork and matte black alloy wheels. I've enhanced the black theme by adding some black sidebars and also added a bonnet protector too. Moving round to the passenger side, I keep a high-vis waterproof coat handy here just in case I ever need to grab it quickly if I need to exit the vehicle in a hurry if there was an accident or a breakdown. And then under the front seats in the storage there, I keep things that I don't need very often and some emergency items. So I've got things like safety shoes, I keep a warning triangle, a breaker bar for undoing wheel nuts, an axle stand, I've got spare bulbs, spanners, screwdrivers, what else have I got in there? Oh, I'll carry an OBD reader, just in case I get a fault code come up, I can have a look and see what that's all about. Got an umbrella there, just in case I'm ever stuck at the side of a road in the rain. Okay, so the Sportivo comes with this brown and black trim. I'm not a particular fan, but I suppose it is what it is, and the seats are black and brown as well. Moving around to the side of the van, both the side door and the rear doors came with extra locks and these anti-drill plates, which are always handy to have. And as I move small items of furniture, the back of the van is carpeted. This van is basically a Renault Trafic, so it was built by Renault on the same production line as the Trafic, but given the Fiat trim and a slightly different front end. Normally these vans have a lower step here, which is actually a bit annoying, so when you put furniture in there, the legs were down in a dip and not very stable, so I actually built the floor up to make it level all the way through and carpeted, stops stuff sliding around so much, and also protects it if I need to lay things on their side in there, they won't end up getting scratched. Moving around to the back of the van, you can see the carpet goes right through, and also the sides are done in four-way stretch carpet as well, just to add a bit of extra protection. Got some storage nets with small ratchet straps and a torch up there, and then at the sides I've got ex-Amazon storage bags which are useful for putting the small items in, things like bedside cabinets, and also I can use them as packing to go between items, as you can see with those tables down at the front. And the same on the right hand side, there's some more storage nets behind there and some more Amazon bags, and then I've got a small trolley. I don't use it very often, but it's always handy to have it there. That's the right hand side. And into the van. like quite a lot of the newer vans now, it comes with a wide angle mirror up in the passenger sun visor, which is useful for pulling out at difficult junctions and so on. And also the Sportivo comes with this sort of little office function built into the back of the middle seat, so you can fold it down and then add this clipboard. So I keep my I put my daily schedule up there so I can see how I'm doing compared to running to time. Got some storage in here for bits of paperwork. I've got my van checkbook and credit card machine in there. Keep odds and ends in this big trough at the front. Stereo's pretty good in here. It's got Apple CarPlay, which is always nice to have. Got dash cam fitted, which is pretty much an essential tool these days, I would say. Stereo also acts as a reversing camera, so it's got quite a nice wide angle lens and also some parking sensors in the back bumper, which is useful. Got aircon and cruise control as standard there too. Bought it with about 67,000 miles on it, and we're now at 76. So done about 9,000 miles since I've had it, with no trouble so far. A lot more refined and quiet than my old Vivaro, and very pleased with it so far. Thanks for watching.
So there you have Rob with that very, very tidy looking Fiat, and the back looks good enough to sleep in anyway with all the carpeting. It is a tidy looking van. Now I will put details about Rob, obviously, as usual, in the description. Although he's done a pretty damn good job of promoting himself by sitting through that whole monologue he did with his t-shirt advertising his company with the website on. But I will put the details in the description anyway. So as you can see with Rob there, he doesn't use the CX at all. He's got his own regular customers, and he's got a niche. He's chosen a niche, and he's built up his own client base through his own reputation and undoubted good work. And he knows what he's doing 2 weeks ahead of time. Now, I wouldn't say that's particularly for me, because with the mind like a goldfish I have, I do get easily bored by doing the same thing all the time. But he knows roughly what his income's going to be. He knows where he stands financially. He doesn't chase late payers like sometimes you have to do on the CX. But I'll say again, the 15 days all came in last week and not one of them was late. So I've had now a good month of batch of payments come through and nobody's paid me late. Which is good, but like I said before, I am picky about which companies I do work for. If they've got negatives, I don't bother. I don't bother at all. So when I first started, not long after I first started, a few months into it, I did a video about how to start on the Courier Exchange, and it went through the obvious things. Like, you need a van, you need your insurances, you need to keep your accounts, you need all your straps, you need to give a good impression to your customers. And that video still stands true now, I believe, and it's my most watched video. I'll put a link to that video in the description as well for anybody who might not have seen it, and you can watch it. But what has happened since then is that it's all changed. A lot of the way that you have to get your work has changed. Running solely on apps such as the Courier Exchange, I say the Courier Exchange because that's their biggest one, in my opinion, doesn't really pay, because it's so competitive. It was initially devised as a backload site, but it's not overly advertised as a backload site when they sell it to you, is it? And the prices that you get, the winning bids, tend to be on the low side, and you're not really able to make enough profit to justify running yourself as a business. You need to develop work of your own. Either get your own customers, which I choose not to do, or develop relationships with people who can supply you with work at a fair price, which is my particular model. That's what I like to do. So I have regular people who supply me with work, and they pay me a fair rate. They know what I want for the job, and they're happy to give it me because I've worked for them in the past. They've been happy with my work, and they feel as though, you know, I like to think so as well, I'm a safe pair of hands. I'll be there on time. You know, I won't mess and fart about. I won't go off radar. If you give me a job to do, I will do it to the best of my ability. I will be polite to your customers. I won't co-load unless there's a particular reason to be co-loading. I'll just get the job done. And hopefully that is good enough for them to repeat and give me work. Now, there are certain shippers, if you want to call them that, on here, that when I put a bid in with them, I'm reasonably confident I will get that job. Today, for example, I've done a couple of ADR jobs, hazardous loads, well-paid jobs, the second of which the company rang me and said, can you do this job for us? Yeah. You weren't the cheapest. We've had quotes cheaper than you, but we know you'll get it done, so we prefer you to do it. And that's, you know, based on just being there on time, doing things right. Having a very presentable vehicle helps. Making sure all me loads are strapped down and secure. I always take pictures of the load once it's on the van and show it secured. I always take a picture of the load once it's been unloaded at the point of delivery to prove it's been delivered there. The only exception to that is if the site where you go, and there's not many, have an objection to you taking pictures. Some of the MOD sites, you can't take pictures. You know, for example, if you go to Barrow, where they build the submarines and you deliver there, no photography allowed whatsoever, which is understandable. But otherwise, I'll take clear pictures to prove here's the goods, here they are in their yard. And sometimes a little snap of the sign on the building as well. All these little things just paint a picture of someone's a bit meticulous and does a good job and instills confidence. But certainly, looking for work outside of the Courier Exchange and the other apps, in my opinion, is the way forward. There's a couple of new guys come on. There's a new guy just been recently on now. I can't remember his name for the life of me, but I will mention him in the next video, just to give him a little plug. He's not long started on the CX, and he admits he's finding it a bit of a struggle. And in fact, I think he's reverting to doing a bit of Amazon flex at the weekends to top his money up. He strikes me as a very honest man and a hard-working man, but he's finding it a struggle. I think his name's Andre. Don't quote me on that, though. By the time I've done a roundup clip this week, I'll mention his name to you. And it's just hard. It's difficult. When I'm bidding, if I haven't got any work of my own, I have to resort to using the Courier Exchange. If I'm bidding for just normal standard loads, I find it a struggle to win those bids, really do. I drive a long wheelbase van. It's a 4.2 metre long wheelbase van. You've seen it in the videos, a VW. And I can't win work. I find it unless it's a shipper who's used me quite a bit. Some of the really big shippers who work massive numbers of jobs, you know, they're looking at the price. And I'm sorry, but I can't run a van this size for £1 a mile. The economics don't work out because they use more fuel than a smaller van. And what you're getting 10 pence a mile, they want you to say maybe just take 10 pence a mile, you know, more than a small van that has twice the miles per gallon of this, costs half the price, and this is so much more expensive to run. It can carry so much more freight. It warrants a higher price. Same as the Lutons. They're a more specialist vehicle. They can take the tall loads. They need a higher price. They get even less miles per gallon than this. But they're looking for it to be so cheap. Then what happens is the cheapest bidder wins it. Inevitably, will probably try and co-load to make the money up, because that's the only way they can make it pay. And it's a real vicious circle. It's expensive now to get a new Courier Exchange membership. A friend of mine's just got another one. He was on it a while back. He let it lapse and he's took a new one out. It's £2,500. It's a lot of money to shell out in one go. And you've got to justify paying for that. Insurance is expensive, as we all know. Hire and reward cover is expensive. I mean, mine's a little bit more expensive because obviously I get the ADR cover. But it's expensive nonetheless, whichever way you cut it. All these factors come in. And if you're working a bigger van at pound a mile, it's not going to pay you. Unless you could guarantee a return load for the same money, which you can't. If I go down to London, especially around Heathrow, you're not winning them bids. They're going for dirt cheap. Same if you go to Scotland. Those companies can sell jobs at 60 pence a mile for a big vehicle to get back down south. I don't know how the Scottish drivers go on if they get a job down south. They won't get it on the CX, I don't think. They must be getting it with their own customers, because it's just ridiculous what they go for. So I'm saying it's changed since when I first started. I could actually earn a bit of a living just working on the CX when I first started. Not fantastic, but I could earn a living. So you've got to look for something different. You've got to go for maybe a bit of a niche, like Rob does with his furniture and antiques. Maybe go for hazardous work. Go and take your ADR license and hunt for hazardous work, because you get a bit more pence per mile. Maybe go for the multi-drop if that's what your gig is. It's not for me, but some people do it because it's a guaranteed steady income. But or go for your own customers, which is, for some people, it is the golden goose. That's what they want. They want to get their own direct customers, because then they can command the best price per mile. And then if they can't cover it themselves, they can sell it on the Courier Exchange and maybe make a little bit of money out of that. But that doesn't interest me. Having my own customers, and there's been lots of opportunities where I've been approached. Some of it thanks to, I say, having a channel like this. It's not for me, because I don't want them either. I don't want people ringing me and emailing me and making demands. I'm more than happy working for companies that I like and they like me at a price that I think's fair, and hopefully is fair to them, because I'll guarantee you service. And if I get the job, in my opinion, it's as good as delivered, unless some absolute nightmare befalls me. I mean, everybody can break down at some point. I will just endeavour to get your product delivered to the best of my knowledge, and I'll always keep you informed. My tracker will stay on if I am working on the Courier Exchange. And if I'm not on a tracker for some reason, if it's a job off the Courier Exchange, I'll always let them know that I've set off, that what time I expect to get there, if there's any potential delays. I'll do all of that to offer a good service. So now, I'm sat here now, waiting for James Fletcher to arrive, because I picked up some gear for him today, and I'm at his unit, but he's not here yet. I'm expecting him in the next half an hour or so, and then I'm going to load up and I'm off to Scotland tomorrow. So this week's going quite well so far. What I'll do is, on Friday, I'll just round up how the week went really quickly, because this bit dragged on a bit, didn't it? But if you've got any comments as to how you are making your living as a courier, then put it in the comments. You know, tips for people are always welcome. you know, because none of us are so experienced that we don't learn all the time. So if you can help other people out there who are struggling with suggestions on how to get work, what to do to get work, put it in the comments, because that can help other people too. And I'll see you on Friday. It's Friday the 24th. I don't think you can hear this because it's quite windy and we're in the middle of nowhere. Again, we're doing an ADR wait and return job, so we're in the middle of Wales and it's very isolated. I haven't even got a phone signal here at the moment because I've had to turn the communications tower off, and we're bringing new batteries here and then we're going to take the old ones back. But you can see it is quite an isolated area. There is a road behind us, and that thing poking up there is the communications mast. And these batteries are 70 kilos each and they've got to go up to that. Anyway, I'm going to get back in my van and get warm while they set the old batteries out. And then I'll let you know how the week went. Right, we've finished our trip to Wales, and at the moment I've been back to Stockport, dropped off the gear, and now I'm whipping up to Warrington to pick up some freight from James and Freddie Fletcher's for a delivery on Monday. So I'll give you a brief rundown of the week and how it went. So on the Monday I did an ADR job, then I got sidetracked because of issues with the kitchen, and it was one ADR job. It wasn't bad money, but it wasn't a full day's money. However, the rest of the week went okay. So on Tuesday I ended up doing 3 jobs. So I did 2 ADR jobs, one from West Yorkshire to Liverpool, and then I did one from Trafford Park with 3 drops finishing in Oldham. That took me till dinner time, and that was basically a full day's money on those 2 jobs. But then I also picked up some freight from Stockport for Fletcher's and took that to the unit in Warrington, whereupon when I got there I loaded up for a nice tasty run up to Helensburgh, north of Glasgow, northwest of Glasgow, and that was a good paying job. And then I got myself a part backload back to Carlisle from Glasgow. So again, a lucrative day. Very well done. Yesterday, Thursday, I did 1 ADR job, but it was 3 drops, and a drop in Manchester, and then a drop in the Lake District, followed by a drop in Barrow. Again, a full day's money for that. Good paying job. Drove back empty because I was meeting David from Purple Bee to load up. He met me on the services on the motorway for the job I did today, which was a wait and return ADR job to Wales. I got a bit wet and a bit muddy, but you know, those are the things. But had a bit of waiting time on it, don't mind. It always pays you, Dave, so that's fine. And like I say, now we're going to meet James to load up for Monday. So that's Monday taken care of. So the week itself, on target. No records broken, not like the other week. But, you know, satisfactory, considering that, you know, I lost a bit of time on Monday anyway. No real super late finishes or anything like that. All in all, a good, steady week. So now, I've got no Shows Your Vans left. This week's was the last one. So if you fancy doing this as Shows Your Van, you know what to do. Go onto the website, amberlogistics.co.uk. There's a link to the WhatsApp, and send us a video, 5-minute video. Promote yourself, and I'll give you a mention in the comments anyway, promoting your websites or email numbers, things like that. And show us what your van's like. Let's all have a good nosy at it. Point out the good points and the bad points. put in the comments this week about how you're getting work. Are you getting all yours from the CX? If not, how are you getting your work? Do you have your own customers? Do you have regular work suppliers, a bit like me? Get it out there. Let's help some people. Thanks for watching this week's video. Please give us a thumbs up. Helps the video get out there. And if you want, subscribe to the channel. Don't cost you a penny. Doesn't commit you to anything. It just keeps you informed as and when the videos come out, so you can see them if you want to, that is. Have a great weekend. My wife's away this weekend, so I'm going to be a very good boy. And I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.